Oh, I have to turn this on. I have to turn this on. Turn me on. Turn me on. Okay, I will start again. Take two. Greetings, classy guys, special ladies, and yes, even you 400-pound infidels that smell and live in their parents' basement. You're all welcome here. Welcome to Pop On to Pop Off. See, I was in such a hurry to get on because I got things on my chest and I got to get them off. I got blessings that I have to acknowledge. See my bathrobe back there with JW on it. And I've got attacks and I've got comments on the two new videos that are doing very well. Thank yous to make galore, Lenore. And so we'll do it. Let's have at it. Get her done. Get her done. We'll say hello to DK97, who told me right away no audio. It's audio now, right? Everything looks good, right, Katina and the waves? First three people rushing in with no audio, but that's been corrected. I hear you, says Katina Swatsworth, Team SWAT with Chris in the great state of I'm not supposed to say. I'm not supposed to. So if you don't say it, I won't tell you that, that she's really in Calcutta. I won't tell you. One hip chick is here wearing her Christmas bell bottoms. Well, my goodness. They're green and red, and they got jingle bells on them, too. I one hip chick. Hi, Jack. Finally catching a pop on. I didn't even know it was going to happen an hour ago. That's how pop ons are. They sneak up on you. Yeah, like Secret Agent Man. Or is that Secret Asian Man? I swear Johnny Rivers said sweet. Not sweet, but Secret Asian Man. At least once in that song. Amanda Mosheni, right? How are you? Now, you should have audio by now, Amanda. I love that name, Amanda. By Boston at 92 Rock 7. I want to be a DJ again. People didn't yell at me then. It's par for the course. I knew that 10 years ago. Yes, next month, 10 years for the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. 10 years. And I didn't start talking about Bob Joyce until 2018. And for the first 4 years, I didn't make 10 cents. I wasn't monetized. I wasn't nothing. I didn't even, after I was monetized, put a thanks button in. And then Nancy DeMarco from the great state of Oklahoma said, why don't you have a thanks button? Everybody else does, and of course, I have a Cash App too. And I thought, well, my retirement is not as high as I was hoping. A lot of people retire, then they're surprised that the ends are not meeting like you thought they would. And then I got blindsided from the left field, and it got smaller. Not a judgment or anything like that. No, just someone that had a right and someone I love still. You get what I mean? And there you go. There you go. It was in the paperwork. I didn't read all the paperwork. That's my fault. That's on me. Would have been nice if my lawyer had pointed that out way back in 2001, but I guess they never thought that would be important to me. Be prepared. Be prepared. So also, we have Debbie Ingalls. Hi, Jack. Hello. It's been a while. How are you? Or is that not Ingalls, but I got to come in closer? Inglis, right? There's an I in there. Just like there's Tammy with an I, who I owe a big thank you to. Are you here yet, Tammy with an I, or are you watching the replay? The replay. Brenda Gaskill is here. Hi, Jack. Pennsylvania sad. Well, we might as well because it's one heck of a good state, I love Pennsylvania. I do. From the moment I leave Port Jervis, New York on 84 and I see I'm in Matamoros, Pennsylvania, I get excited. There's just something about that state. Now, that doesn't mean I love it like I would love Florida in January. Let's not go crazy, go nuts. But in the summer, in the spring, in the fall, yes. Here's my buddy my buddy who's named Buddy. Buddy McDaniel from Arkansas. Hey, Jack and all. Nice to have you aboard. I got things to say, so don't tune away. I got stuff to get off my chest. And, you know, it's not all bad. It's good. And I am not an unreasonable person. Sometimes people come at me like a freight train. You don't know who they are. The last person that they told me they were in the inner circle of the ELVIS, and that doesn't necessarily apply now, but the last person that told me they were in the Elvis circle back in the day was totally BSing me. And then people started to tell me that person does that other places. Why can't I have somebody nice like the Memphis Mafia kid, Danny Smith? Because he hates my guts. Probably that's probably the truth. I hate that. I hate that. When a nice guy like Danny hates me, I'm just perceiving. I'm just perceiving that he does. He may not. Helen McDonald from Australia. Yeah, it's early for you, right? Is it still morning there in Australia, land of the kangaroos? Have you put a shrimp on the Barbie for me? Have you put a shrimp on the Barbie? Well, my stomach is just healing from yesterday. Oh my goodness. You know, do I want to tell this story? um, Karen made shrimp scampi last night. That didn't make me sick. It didn't. Um, but I'm on the Ozempic, and you got to think about what you're putting in your mouth when you're on Ozempic. You got to think you should check these things out. So I was just sipping some lemonade, but it was lemonade to relax me. There was no alcohol in it. It's, very legal in New York State, and I really wanted some gummies in case I needed extra relaxing some night and couldn't sleep. But they were out because all the old people like me are running in and getting them. I just hope they're not driving a car while they have done one or two. But so, they said, well, we got lemonade, but you old people keep buying up all the gummies. They didn't say it like that, but, that's basically what he was telling me. So I said, lemonade, huh? Well, all right, I'll have that. He said it's not gonna knock you out or anything. It's not high, but I figure if there's a time when I just want to relax, I need an extra relaxation, I will I will sip the lemonade. And it tastes exactly like lemon lime Gatorade with sugar, not the zero version, but it tastes exactly like. Oh, it's tasty. I didn't expect that. Don't taste a thing like lemonade, but it tastes exactly like lemon lime Gatorade, which was always my favorite. I don't mind the punch. I don't mind the orange. I don't know what you people are doing with the blue. Why do people like blue? There's no blue food. Why should there be blue drinks? But that's just me. Thank you, Amanda. Um, so I figured, I had taken my medication already. I'm not going to take the Camzyos till later. So I'll just as we're watching TV, um, the snow has come, and now Andy has just done a massive cleaning job. There's about 8 inches of snow, and now there's ice coming tonight to New York. Maybe you too, Katina and the waves. And I figure I just sit there and enjoy this. It's not going to do much to me. And it didn't. I had my dinner and everything. And now it's getting colder and colder and colder. We're going to we're not that far from single digits. We're not that far from single digits. And I don't want to come up to the studio. I'm going to be in the recliner with the best heat. And I got my blanket and everything. And I'm going to do that. So I figure, okay, I'll just sip this early on and everything, and have my dinner and everything. And it's about 11 o'clock. It's after that. It's after midnight. You know me, I'm a night person, and I'm just starting to rest back in the chair. But my tummy don't feel too well. And I think, gee, I feel a little nauseous. And, but, I'm in denial. So, it's just a little nauseous. It'll go away. The next thing you know, I'm grabbing the waste paper basket, and this happened twice, and It's a funny thing because you feel better right after that happens. You hope it's not gonna happen again. It usually does, but again, you feel better. You hope this is the last time, and you feel like you're getting some toxins that needed to come out of your system. So that's how that. We got ice and wind advisory starts tomorrow. Oh, so it's going to come from my area and it's going to zap you. I got it now. Hey, Barbara Kendall, BK, nice to have you back. Hi. Um, 8 a.m. Monday morning here. Yeah, you guys have a different half hour, which is weird to me. Hot day ahead. And 104 Fahrenheit. What are you in Miami? What what are you in Texas in August? Oh, that's too hot. That's too hot. I had no idea it got that hot in Texas. You know, a few months ago you told me you were in winter. How long is your winter? I really want to know this because it doesn't seem like it's 4 months like ours is. And heck, it was cold a few days in May last year. Who am I kidding? So anyway, I just want to say a few things. First of all, thank yous for Tammy Griffin. I have to admit, that's Tammy with an I. Do I usually say your full name? I think you put your full name in. I hope I'm right about that. But you know, it's been a battle to try to maintain views. I mean, we're talking about overall for the quarter, somewhere around between 30 and 55,000 down, and that's not good. That's not good. I, um, I can't make ends meet with numbers like that. The live shows are down, the tipping is down. It's the same people doing it, and I feel real bad about that. I don't want people to ever feel they have to. I totally understand when people have had enough of being here or tipping or whatever, and they stop. People will take breaks and come back. I get it all. People are doing things and what have you. So it was pretty dismal, and I'm saying, "Wow, this is not good. This is not good." And then um, I'm thinking about doing this pop on, and I just check my phone, and it says uh, Tammy with an I hit the Cash App, and it's a very nice number. It's not a number to dig me out of an unexpected December hole, and I don't want to talk about November, but it helps a lot. It helps a lot, and I just want to thank you, Tammy with an I. It's just funny that when you're under attack from people you don't really know because they hide in the shadows. You can't have a man to man conversation with them. Who the hell are they? You don't know. You never can verify anything they say. I don't mind responding. I don't mind people calling me an idiot. I don't mind people calling me an opportunist. I'll explain all that and I'll do it now again because there's people that don't know me at all and then come on here. And if you think they always go to the guy who is at the bottom of the barrel and make him sound like he's making money like Donald Trump or something. President Trump, our glorious leader. And I say that with respect, and I don't mean that he's a dictator. You know what I mean. But anyway, where's my email? Yeah, there you are. Oh boy. Um, but before that came in, um, Tammy with an I came in with a Cash App. You don't usually have this when you're off, in the pre-recorded videos, even if they do well, 1% maybe will give me a few dollars or more, like Lana Dye. Thank you, Lana Dye. Appreciate you very much. And Susan Carter does that, and a few others. But that's kind of rare, and it really helps me when people do that because it all adds up, whether you do Cash App or the uh, the thanks button. It helps more with Cash App, to be honest with you. I'm going to put that in here. But so that was nice, that was nice. And let's see here. But if you're going to be a creator, you're going to get criticism, and you just have to say that's just par for the course. They don't know my heart. They don't know my background. They, for goodness sakes, we have more than ever. We have more than ever. We have people doing the Bob Joyce topic. And now that AI is here, and I say this in one of our latest videos, the one that's doing the best, I say um, that is, that's all par for the course. That's all par for the course. Um, so let's see. I'm not mentioning any names, of course. I don't do that. I don't do that. It's a situation where you know me, but I don't know you. I reported your latest video. I think he means, I don't know if it's the first or second one because we did two back to back because they're a two-parter, you know. I'm going to mention those in just a few minutes and lots of people responding. I reported your latest video to the EPE legal department and also Bob Joyce. Well, I think Willina watches me. Hi, Miss Willina. You're precious and we love you. And I would be very happy to hear from Pastor Bob Joyce. I've been saying this since 2018, for goodness sakes. I said, if Pastor Joyce has any problem with what I'm doing, and as a point, if he would have said, I don't want you doing any of it, it really would have been a real downer because, I worked a long time to find a magic topic that people seem to care about. And that led to me being able to do live shows where we talk about everything. But he didn't respond. I said it had to be a video message. So I knew who I was talking to. Because at the time, there was one of his church members that was sounding just like this person, real nasty. Well, not at first. At first, they were real nice. Come, 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 and stay at my house and Texas Roadhouse. But I knew if I didn't come to his understanding, let's see, there's quite a distance from Benton to the airport in Little Rock. I'll probably be taking an Uber. I'd be taking an Uber, and I never feel right about staying in anybody's house anyway. I'd rather stay at a cheap motel. It's just me. That's just me. I feel like it's too much of an imposition and what have you. And what if they kill me in my sleep? I'm just kidding. Anyway, you are the most dishonest individual who spreads misinformation like it's the truth. Like it's the truth. Um, Karma is a bitch. Well, I believe in reaping and sowing. That's the Christian version of karma, but every religion basically has a type of karma. So, you can say karma if you want, but I haven't used that word since, I haven't used it much anyway, since the 80s when I was actually looking into Hinduism before I was born again in 1984 via a media preacher. And it's very important to understand what a media preacher is who happens to also be a local pastor. There's special things to consider, and that's what we talk about a little bit in the first new video. So anyway, that was that, and that went on to the same person telling me that they were good friends with this one and good friends with that one. I'm not going to share that information. I'm, just full of donkey dust and what have you. And anything I would try to say, if I would say, well, a lot of people tell me so and so has been to the church, they would twist it to like, well, you're saying it. No, I just thought I'd throw that in. I thought maybe we could have a civil conversation, a civil conversation. I bet I could have one with Danny Smith. He's such a nice guy. Maybe he invite me over for supper. And I don't think the last thing I would say is this tea tastes like almonds. If you saw the first Jodie Foster film, you know that when she went to poison Martin Sheen, of all people, the last thing he said was, this tea tastes like almonds. And she said, must be the almond cookies, which she served along with it. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now, let's see here. Let's go to the channel itself, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, that will be 10 years old around the 3rd of January. So we did two videos. I did them after midnight on the Friday night, right? and they were released 2.5 hours apart on Saturday. The first one, explosive. I don't use that word often. I know it's a catchphrase. I know Bob Joyce is the magic words. Even if I just have Elvis in there and I don't put Bob Joyce with it, it doesn't get as many views. um, Explosive new Bob Joyce Elvis info. No, no, that's not the right one. Duh. That did very well too. That's got 10,000. But, I don't overuse words like that. When I think I've got something, I use them. And if I don't, I don't. No, I'm talking about the one where we use one of those fake AIs of Bob Joyce that's now all over Facebook, Instagram, X. I mean, my goodness, you got dozens of new people out there, usually creators that don't know anything about the story. They don't know the Bob Joyce lookalikes, etc. So, why Bob Joyce may be forced to say he is Elvis? It's got over 2,200 views right now, and which is good for me. I'm a small fish in a little pond. Oh, yeah, once in a while it gets better. The verdict has almost 250,000. But boy, that only happened once. I mean, Robert's active retirement, and God bless you, Robert. You just turned 78. You've only been doing YouTube for a year. Check him out. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's in Georgia. And he's already got a viral video, almost 1 million. And I have never had one, and I've been on for 10 years. So I'm a small fish making small money. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And then the companion to that, which I recorded right after it, in both videos, I have the Senator John Fetterman look. I don't know why he doesn't become a Republican at this point. He's making more sense. We thought, oh God, this guy can't put a sentence together. We too judgmental. Can't put a sentence together. Well, he had a stroke. He recovers from the stroke. God bless him, and he makes more sense than any other Democrat in there. And he does sometimes these live shots from his basement. It looks like he's in a prison, in somebody's basement. The white bricks, and the paint is peeling off, and it's just funny. But they put him on there. They let him do what he wants to do. Um, and then the other one, will Elvis return from the grave in 2026? Well, I would certainly agree Elvis is never coming back, because even if he did fake his death, there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people believe, including Jeannie C. Riley, who announced it from the stage, and all this stuff we have said in the verdict and things like that. It wouldn't matter what I said when someone is hostile. Will Elvis return from the grave in 2026? If Elvis is still alive, I believe he's born of God's Spirit, preaching the word of God. I don't see any other possibilities. Now, I have covered other angles, though. Is he the love child son of Elvis? I even went to the Jesse thing. I definitely don't believe in the Jesse thing. I think Jesse unfortunately passed away during childbirth. But I have explored the other angles, and my audience usually shoots me down and tells me all the reasons, many which I've already covered, why they are confident that Bob Joyce is Elvis. But, whatever. God could have made a clone. I suppose. Why wouldn't he? He's capable of anything. So, got these videos here, and they're doing well. Please watch them. The first one being why Bob Joyce may be forced to say he is Elvis. Please share it if you can. I know your friends will think you crazy. Will Elvis return from the graveyard in 2026? What I'm saying is, will someone who thousands of people think is Elvis, will they come forward? And we explore reasons why in both videos, why that would be an important thing to do if you want to build a new sanctuary and you want to have anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 seats or whatever. 3,000 wouldn't be enough if the announcement was big. So that's what we do, and we go through the various stories. I try to do it in a respectful manner. Let me go back to the live stream. We can always come back to that. I always say I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong. I've talked to several people in the Bob Joyce inner circle. One gave me a denial that he was ever anybody from else but Robert Wayne Joyce, and what have you. Another person just didn't want to go there, but was very helpful, and what have you. Um, and I'm always open to hearing from Bob Joyce. I'm always open to hearing from Elvis Presley Enterprises. I saw that gentleman at the last Graceland celebration, and was it? I don't know if I saw the last one, but the one before it. He seems like a fine man, and I'm always willing to hear. And they always have a voice here to come on. If you have a Zoom link, we'll link into that. I don't yet. We can always do a phone call and what have you. I got to make sure who I'm talking to, Got to make sure who I'm talking to you. Well, welcome, Mark Rochester from Buffalo, New York. That was just a joke, Mark. Mark from England, really? Definitely strange goings-ons. No fuel without fire. No mounds of smoke that could fill Texas, and there isn't any fire. You're asking us to believe too much, but there could be another angle. And I've talked about those other angles. Bloodline, bloodline. Sound like you know who now, talking about the bloodline. He definitely looks like Elvis. Uh, he definitely looks like Elvis' dad. Oh, that's for sure. He sure does. That picture of him kneeling, Bob Joyce kneeling at the grave, it looks like Vernon kneeling at the grave. But is Bob 90 in your eyes? Well, we've shown pictures. I'm looking to the back of me now, where I think the answer is yes, yes. Um, hey, I found that picture right away. Look at the picture on the right and the left, not the one in the middle. Not the one in the middle. Yeah, I think he looks 90. So you see him in really good lighting, makeup, and what have you. I swear I see people on, like, I'll just say the name, Ari Fleischer, who used to be, was it President Bush's press secretary? I can't remember which president. Could have been Bush Senior's press secretary. I'm not sure which one he was, but it was a Republican for sure. So if you look there, you can see it. You can see it. The guy in the middle don't look like him at all. And that's the guy who opened the door when Greg Pritchard went. This was on a Sunday when there would be no service at Household of Faith, but they'd come all the way from Atlanta and so disappointed. But there had been flooding and there's no power at the church and what have you, remnants of a tornado. And this is the guy who came to the door. First, Willina came to the door. Well, first, a barking dog did. His name is the Annihilator. No, not really. So we did a poll at that time. Do you think the guy in the middle is the guy that preaches every Sunday? And we've been talking about Robert Wayne Joyce forever. And I would say 95% thought it wasn't the same person. Wasn't the same person. So I guess that's all you wanted to know, Mark. Well, come back. Don't be a stranger. Thank you and have a great 2026, my friend. Paulette is here. You don't feel he's Elvis, and that's cool. See, we're fine with that. You don't have. This is not a cult. This is just I mean, there are Facebook groups like like Bob Joyce's Elvis. Bob Joyce's Elvis. You have to answer a questionnaire before you can even be a member. They don't want people coming on there, and a lot of these Facebook groups. I'm not saying it's that one, but I think so. Um, they don't want you coming on and being a pain. We don't mind it here as long as you don't start to, berate and just you're on a mission to be a fly in the ointment. But we don't mind that at all. Welcome anyway. By you, girl, Jack. Don't worry about them people. Well, you know. Miles, right. I understand though what you're saying. And I do understand that you cannot be a creator and not get that. And sometimes it's going to be vicious. Vicious. You hit me with a flower. You do it every hour. Oh baby, you're so vicious. Lou Reed, everybody. I just quoted Lou Reed. Hello, Jack and all. Hi, Miles Wright. How are you? Happy New Year. We'll say that again before the new year actually comes into existence or when it does. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Haven't been thinking about that too much. Somebody gave me something else that I have to check out and possibly do a pre-recorded video on that. So, and I also want to thank Pat Gazzara for hitting the Cash App. I'll just put that here. Just put that here and move on. No, that's my email. This is my email. I never said I had all my marbles. This is the Cash App. Yeah. Yeah, there it is right there. There it is right there. Media Guy 56 lowercase letters. I get more of it when you do that. And any amount is fine. And if you can't do it, it's fine. It's fine. Last December was pretty good, as I recall. This one, not so much, not so much. But I'm happy when new people do it because I don't want people feeling obligated. I don't want people, certainly to give when they can't afford it and what have you. I really, really don't. But if I go down in the views, I'm now pressured to do some pre-recorded videos, but I'm not doing them if I don't have something. I'm not going to try to repackage some old stuff. I've done that a time or two. Or well, you have to do an update because there's always new people coming on, and they don't know the answers to certain questions. And so yeah. I thought he was definitely Elvis from the time I heard him sing American Trilogy. I pointed out to the person who hates my guts in the email. Um, in Denton's and Benton, no longer there. Denton's and Benton, but yeah, his son being an Elvis impersonator. And bringing daddy up to sing. Daddy is reluctant. Everybody's doing video. Everybody's flashing photography, not flashing, but flash photography, which means your cell phone in 2025, your iPhone or your smartphone. Maybe a few of you still have flip phones. And so that made him more nervous. He was kind of forgetting lyrics, but his son helped him along. Son, I don't know that it's his biological son. And when he went to full voice, because he tried to get away from not doing it, but it was clear that his son wanted him to finish the song, he went to full voice. And for many of you, you didn't need any more convincing. You didn't need any more convincing. You talk about the George Klein funeral. Not only did we think we saw the back head of Pastor Bob Joyce in the left front row, that would be our left, camera's left, right, stage right. The guy next to him looked just like his, what I would say, possible stepson, Matt Joyce. And so what a coinky-dink. And then out of the 500 people in the room, the person we think is Bob Joyce, and sitting next to the guy that looks like Matt Joyce, Priscilla taps him on the shoulder as she goes by to go back to her seat. After she spoke, she was in the row behind him, but further down. Those are the kind of coincidences. I don't even believe in coincidences, but if I did, boy, that would be a hell of a trio there, right? How dare we think that? How dare we think that? I'm not the only one that thinks that, by the way. But noticing that did get me in the Daily Star in the UK, which I hear is like the Inquirer here. They put a portion of the video on their website. So there's that. But a lot of people say that, Paulette. A lot of people say that. Look at that. We got 59 watching and 23 likes. Hello, replay crowd. So, well, I thought you'd show up eventually, Neo Neon. Hey, hey, hey. How are you? Now, at the first part of the video, you don't hear any audio. You think I would know how to edit that myself, right? No, I got to call Andy up here or just leave it go like that. I'll just write in no audio for the first few seconds and nobody will read that. They'll just think, oh, forgot it. On to the next one. He forgot to turn the mic on. I have the mic switch, the mic pot, as we call it, on the board up, but I had forgot to turn the power on. I guess I was in a bit of a tizzy. Yeah, so there's that. So anyway, in the video, we did 2 new videos that were released Saturday. They're both climbing and doing well. Nothing outstanding, you know. It's not going to do what the verdict does, but in the one where I used a fake AI shot of Bob Joyce with, to me, is that Priscilla or is it Lisa Marie with Riley? I go back and forth as to which it is. I think that's Riley there. Riley Keough, owner of Graceland. You can be Bob. You can be Elvis Presley for a day. You're gonna need some money, but you can be a special VIP person. You and about 4 or 5 others. That's all they allow in the group. And you can be Elvis Presley for a day at Graceland. Good idea, Riley. Good idea. Always love to hear from Riley if she's got something to say, even if it's to tell me to take a long walk off a short pier. Or you could just sing what the 2 ex-wives sang. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back no more. But it was really in the second video picture of Elvis playing the guitar. Will Elvis return from the grave in 2026? And funny how the Bob Joyce thumbnails do better than the Elvis himself thumbnails. I just have to make that observation. It's in that video we talk about some of the reasons why some people may be upset, including in the inner circle, at the new direction that Bob Joyce Ministries, Household of Faith Ministries, but really they're kind of separate, although together, because everything benefits Household of Faith. Pastor Bob doesn't take a salary. He doesn't take money for his CDs. He didn't even take money from Coleman, Alabama, we're told. Everything goes into the church. How does he afford to live? Well, some would say pension and Social Security, just like I do. And if he had ever been a carpenter in a union, his pension be a lot better than mine. And then mine got a lot smaller, causing me to have real struggles that I did not see coming. But we talk about you cannot expect television preachers, media preachers on various platforms. You cannot expect them to be like your local pastor down the street that draws 65 people. You can't expect that. God has given them extraordinary talent to do extraordinary things, not go to your kid's second birthday party if they're way out of town, maybe doing an appearance on a Christian network where they get to sing and preach the gospel, or doing a concert, Christian concert somewhere, what have you, they may not be able to. All these big churches with very well known preachers have a big staff and a big group of volunteers, a big group of volunteers. So I believe that what Pastor Bob is doing with the help of LWC management is very likely from the Holy Spirit. I'm not God, I don't know anything for sure, but I think it's very likely from the Holy Spirit. And I've seen all my life from Jimmy Swaggart, who God used, the preacher I didn't like at all, but was thoroughly entertained by. He used him to lead me to Jesus Christ in 1984. Well, look at there, Hockey 92. I'll comment on that in a minute. Um, but these pastors are writing endless books. They're doing endless things away from the church that they pastor. They may be at Madison Square Garden, as Jimmy Swaggart was numerous times, doing a revival. Then they go to Dallas the next weekend, and what have you. And they write books, they record albums. I don't know that Jimmy Swaggart never took a dime from one of his albums. I'd be surprised if he didn't, and I don't blame him for doing it. Now we have Donnie Swaggart pastoring the church, but they lead very busy lives and they have assistants that back them up. I totally agree that there should be an assistant pastor at Household of Faith. Is there? Or is there one doing it kind of unofficially? Possibly Tom Joyce. I don't know. I think he does the Bible study. Way to go. He seems like a wonderful man. Wonderful man. And so there's all that. There's all that. You just can't, if you're going to a mega church, and that's what could happen to a degree, maybe a smaller version at Household of Faith, you can't expect that the pastor's always going to be around. But he should make every effort to do things. If someone in their congregation is dying and he can possibly get there instead of the assistant pastor, he should. And they usually do. They usually do. But there are people both in the inner circle and outside the circle that are not going to understand this, not going to understand this. They're not going to understand the $9.99 a month to become a member of bobjoycemusic.com. But all those things they do have to be paid for. The manager has to be paid. That's normal stuff. And, it's obvious already to me that LWC Media, it sounds like a kiss up, and it partially is. How's that for honesty? LWC Media seems to be doing a bang-up job, But we got a problem now because I think more people have flash drives, the ports for flash drives in their cars, and not a CD player, and people love to listen in on long trips and stuff. So next, flash drives. Next, I would say some kind of a television outreach. See, it's not usual that the platform, although they're getting more popular, is the main source. They have a broadcast reach, and that enhances and leads people to platforms like YouTube and X and Instagram. And YouTube is most generous with the time they allow you. Rumble will give you the time, but I don't think it's necessarily free on Rumble. Certainly they're going to run ads. Well, look at that. Hockey 92. Thank you so much for $19.99 on a pop on to pop off. Thank you for hitting the thanks button. See, I should remember that scripture, "O thee of little faith," because just when you think things are going to be really bad and, there's just things coming out of left field at this point, both for Karen and me. There's co-pays involved. I have a fatty liver. Got that result. And you got to be careful and you got to watch that and you got to do things. People will have probably suggestions as to what the best liver detox is. We just ordered one from Amazon. I'll show it to you when it comes. And, that can lead to um, cirrhosis, cirrhosis of the liver, and eventually a liver cancer, which will kill you. You have to know your testings because you have to have this information. So I'm always going for testings, and there's a copay there. And, there's obligations that are very hard for me to meet right now, which bothers me. I wish that wasn't true. I wish that wasn't true. I'm handling most of them, but I can't handle 100% of them. As I explained to someone else, I said there's been 30 to 50,000 per quarter drop in views, and the tips are down. The amount of people tipping it down, same thing, right? And some of the core is taking a break. It may be done, and that's okay. That's okay. I'll be issuing massive thank you letters in a few days for the people that stood with me in 2025. But it's not like it's a 5-year contract or something. Come and be my guest. That's okay too. All the Christmas videos I did were non monetized. Even the one that had material from 1800 and 1700 with a copyright expired. But hey, if it's being shared with Pastor Bob, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Christmas show, not setting the night on fire, but there's a couple of Bob Joyce songs in there. Please watch them. I took the Chris Ria video down that was up for a while because I have a feeling there's going to be a problem. It was blocked in a few countries, and he just passed away, and his wife is now running things, and I don't want him to run into trouble with her, even though it wasn't going to make the kind of thing that would make it worth it anyway. I think it was 126 views when I um, took it down. It was just me playing fool if you think it's over and talking about how Chris Ria was a medical miracle man that lived without most of his pancreas for decades. So I wanted to keep it up, but I when I have a bad feeling that something is not right, I either change it, I change the wording if I think the person has a point that the wording was not good, and maybe doing that again. So it's not like I'm bullheaded. I'm not bullheaded. But anytime that Bob Joyce, Willena Joyce, or EPE, Elvis Presley Enterprises, wants to talk to me, correct me on something or what have you, um, there's just a number of catch 22s here, and I might talk about that in another pre-recorded video based on what somebody right here told me. I'm going to look into that, but I will never talk about other personal stuff. I will never, even if you do, I won't. Carbs and sugars can be a cause of that. Sure. Sure. Yeah. Better diet in all ways, because I don't drink enough for it to be anything else. I mean, half a dozen drinks a year that I tell them to go light on is not the cause. No more than 3 or 4 cigars a year will give me lung cancer. Huh. I know you prefer CDs because you have them and you probably have them available, or records, but you know, um, it's getting tougher for the XYZers, especially, but they're not going to appreciate what you do anyway, Neo. You're going to have to do digital puppets, digital puppets only. I don't know what to tell you. It's a new world. It's a new world, baby. Yeah, I wish he would come on sometime or talk to me privately. Um, the idea as one of the first people to lash out at me. First one was the guy from France who didn't want any competition. Um, what is indicated um, by the gentleman who claims to be in or was in the Elvis Presley circle is that the bad thing about me is people believe it when I say it. It's like I kind of thought that was a compliment. It's like, well, you don't suck. You have some cohesiveness to the story you're telling. So um, you're more of a danger, I think, because people believe you. And I never come on the air, never have in 10 years with a plan to lie to anybody. So that's a false accusation. You don't know me. You don't know me. I wouldn't do that to the audience. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. You speak English, you've got to know what that means. I'm the chronological storyteller. So when something happens, I go for it. But sometimes I say it's a bridge too far. It's a bridge too far, as I did when I first got the service card for the Lisa Marie funeral. So I sat on what could have been a viral video, and then 4 months later, everybody has the card, and there's no sense not commenting on it then because everybody knows about it. Hockey 92. Thank you very, very much. I can't tell you how encouraging that is. Even if it were $2, it would be encouraging. Thank you very much for hitting the thanks button right down there, replay crowd. If you don't find it in your video, it's in the other one. Okay. I'm only doing that because we are about 50% of last December. 50% of last December. We started doing live shows in 2023. And as I say, all that year, even though I was monetized, so I would get money for videos that were successful, I didn't have a thanks button until Nancy DeMarco said, "Why don't you? Everybody else does too." And I still to this day hate having to mention it. I hate having to mention it. I wish I had so many views I didn't have to mention it, and you could hit it if you wanted to. I don't charge for subscribing like more and more people do. No, I don't do that. Never will. Never will. Huh. Gene Ho. And then some letters after it that I don't know what they mean, Paulette. Good morning, Jack and everyone from Australia. Well, good morning. Yes. Your compadre, Helen, told me that it was 8 a.m. a while ago. Young people really actually seem to as well. You're trying to tell yourself this, Neil. Yes, you're trying to tell you that the kid with the nose ring is looking for vinyl. Once upon a time, that would have been true. Not that long ago, I'm saying, you know what I mean? There was a revival of vinyl. There was. But you need to have flash drives in the mix. And maybe you can put them in some kind of a pretty package when you mail them out. That's a challenge right there because people want to put them in the port in their cars as they drive along. It's that simple. It's that simple. So we talk about a lot of things in these two videos. I'm not going to redo the topic now, but a lot more material in these two videos. Why Bob Joyce may be forced to say he is Elvis, and will Elvis return from the grave in 2026? Again, stressing that even if Elvis is still alive, the old man is dead. The new man is who certainly I know they want you to focus on. God is doing a new thing, but you can't stop human nature, and we can't pretend that thousands of people haven't visited Household of Faith because they think he used to be somebody else. You can make that real clear in a very definite video. And I got more to say. Maybe I got to check something out yet. Been so busy. Not really. I've been on the couch a lot, kind of in a funk. And then, just spending time with Karen, though. We had to rush out Friday because she needed serious blood work. We don't know what the results are, but that's on my mind. And, that kind of thing. I love her very much. And we're just hoping that, of the three things it could be, it's not the most serious one. It's probably more than she wanted me to say. Let's see. Seem to be known for that, right? Back to the live stream. So watch those two videos. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Subscriptions are starting to come up when we have a hot video or two. That's how they come up usually, because everybody here is already subscribed. Katina, if three or so is all you do a year, do you really need them at all? Just saying. Are you talking to Neo or me? And then she retracted it. Yeah, I often have the time now. Let me see, what are they talking about? Or if they say, "You're funny, Jack," I wonder what I said that was funny because I said it 2 minutes ago. I've already forgotten it. You know, I may be right in what Don Imus used to say. I may need a checkup from the neck up. Well, I just did a CAT scan of my brain. And I want to say the first thing is not only were the results good, praise the Lord Jesus Christ, undeserved grace. I'm doing better than I deserve. Not only were the results good, there had not been any slippage of my brain to lower extremities that I have been accused of in the past. So I feel vindicated. Why do I say these things, Neil? Why do I do it? Um, yes, hockey, and you've done that a number of times this year, usually for that amount, because I remember because it ties into Hockey 92, 1999, and I appreciate that. Never give when you can't, or never feel you're tied into an amount or what have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what's that about Gene Ho, Paulette? Did you respond to me? Typing on my iPad. Well, aren't you fancy dancy? I could use one of those. I really would like an iPhone. Anybody got a used iPhone that just sits in the drawer? You're never going to use it. You've got one that you really love now. You're going to upgrade when that's done. If you have an iPhone of the past that's in good working order, I want it for one reason only, and that's to be able, when I do my live broadcast, I don't see the artist on stage washed out because I'm using an Android. So um, just email me, jackthefairguy at gmail.com, Jack the Fair guy at gmail.com. And that's probably the last time I'll say that, at least for a while. Okay. Don't make definite promises because sometimes you can't keep them or whatever. Um, Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's another thing that happens, Neo. You're talking to somebody else, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I can't always do that in real time. I understand. Explain your full name because I've never understood it. It's real close to necrophiliac there, Neo. Oh dear. He won't let you type fast, says Paulette. I see. I bet it is warm where she is, Helen, because you live in the same country. And I can't imagine if you're 104, she's like in the lower 40s. I'm talking Fahrenheit. We don't do Celsius here. We don't do Celsius here. So, I'm just looking back here. Hate to miss a name. No right first time, said Jack, says Debbie. What was that about? Huh. All right. Well, you can always retype if you want to. If you want to. So what else? Am I forgetting something? Say I didn't write it down. Just wanted to well, first of all, say Happy New Year. Try to do a live, obviously, either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, if not both. And I wanted to thank both Pat Gazzara and very generous tip from Tammy with an I that brings us up. That is very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. But it is becoming tougher. It is becoming tougher because we need new people, not the same people feeling, well, I have to do it every time because you really don't. You really don't. Come on and be our guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. I'm just looking at some of the past emails here. Indeed is looking for a pharmacy driver if you're interested. I don't know why I'm still getting those things. Oh, hi, first name is Vass. I won't give your last name, but you're from Australia too, and you wrote me a nice email. You asked some questions, and I have to have enough time to answer you as you deserve properly. A lot of people have talked about, his eyes are not far apart enough. I've heard explanations from the guys, the women that specialize in that. It's not really my thing. It's not really my thing. The nose thing. We know that Elvis had a nose work at some time. I don't know if there was ever an accident during his kung fu, and he got his nose swiped. I don't know, but I know that the nose has been worked on, has been worked on. I've never been too drawn. Excuse me for a second. I've never been too drawn to the physical appearance part when he looks just like Elvis, he sounds just like Elvis, and there's these 6 or 7 other facts, oddities, coincidences, don't like to use that word. When there's that many, when there's that much smoke, um, you know, and by the way, here's something for EPE that I think I brought up to the person who hates my GUTS. Um, this helps sales of Elvis records. It does. The thing about there's no such thing as bad publicity. That's not true. There is. But in this particular case, the interest in Bob Joyce sells Elvis Presley records. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, and you can always start your own channel but you'll have to stay in the guidelines and not go off the rails, just like any other creator. Um, have at it, have at it. But don't try to say that all the thousands of people that are drawn to this, all the Facebook groups, the X groups, Instagram, that it's just, shouldn't be allowed to exist. This is not North Korea. Would you like to live there? I don't think you would. Would you like to live in Russia? Problems happening with free speech for people who live in the UK and Australia. Yeah, be careful. Um, Absolutely sad to see things like that happening. Um, so yeah, there we go. And live stream. Jackie Organ talking to Helen McDonald. Few people missing here. Here's Marty Greco. I won't show you a picture unless you want me to. I think I have it in my pile to the left. How's the arm doing? By now you are probably getting back up to speed, but you're still out of work, and that's good. Good time to be out of work. But if it's unemployment, you only get half of what you would normally get. So that's not good, right? Am I right? Am I right? You could always go back to your career as a male dancer. Just be careful with your left arm while you're dancing. Angel is here, Angel LX. Hi, Jack. I'm praying that Karen gets wonderful blood results. Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm still in the process of learning more. I won't see my GP to the 29th of January. And before that, I'll have some more blood work myself, including blood work to determine if I have in my future that they can tell now the big D word, dementia. So far, so good, though. I thank the Lord God because I see these reels from young people that have cancer, some of them dying, going into hospice, and they're this beautiful young lady who just wants to live her life. And then there's Sydney, Towie, who's got cancer. And, she doesn't have such a short lifespan, but she's got a very serious illness she's dealing with. What's been going on with you, Marty? Did you have a nice Christmas? Did you have a nice Christmas? I hope so. Hope so. Um, I think Marty sold his motorcycle, and that was some of the best news I heard in 2025. Yeah. Oh, the stories I hear, you know, they're just terrible. Pam Donnelly, Happy New Year. Early. Thank you, Pam Donnelly. Welcome, 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 PD. She's with the PD. Well, here's Elaine Peterson. Happy New Year, Jack. Happy New Year to you, Elaine. Not from Maine, but I'll tell you, it's a wonderful place to be, Elaine, in the summer. That's all I can tell you. We didn't go this year. We're not doing Polka Weekend. Can't afford that this year. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, it isn't, but it is, that kind of thing. Polka Sean and Polka Norma will be there. They're doing the cruise. They work the cruise. Their staff. I tell you, this guy rolled over me like a steamroller, baby. He let me know that they may be the new kids on the block, but they were going into the inner circle, sort of. And you're not really in the inner circle till it's Christmas Eve and you're sitting with a drink in Jimmy Sturr's living room, okay? Just so you know, that's the inner circle. That's the inner circle. Neil said something that was right. That's only happened 2 or 3 times. Marty reminds me of a David Lee Roth song, Just a Gigolo. Who did that originally? Who did that song originally? Just a Gigolo. It's not David. He did justice to it. I'm not a David Lee Roth hater like some people are. I love you, Jack. Well, thank you, Elaine. I was a little concerned. You were a little bit angry with me, and I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. One of our most faithful supporters there on the Cash app. I appreciate that very much. But today you're just a guest. Just be a guest. Please. I posted before I was done. I see. The church has made remarks to not come if you are doing it because if you think Bob is someone else. Say it to camera. Not you, but Bob himself. Say it to camera. Don't come here if you think I'm Elvis Presley. Say it to camera. No behind the scenes stuff. It's not going to work. No. Now, I think it was you that told me something else. Let's not talk about that yet because I'm looking at it. I'm about to look at it, and I'll have to do another video. But I got to get back to Karen and a little bit. Not yet, but in a little bit. And so that would not be good news for BobJoyceMusic.com. Now, if you want, I know a little bit about broadcasting, including TV broadcasting. I've been on it a few times, but I'm saying that here's the deal. If the pastor is Robert Wayne Joyce, 74 years old, and you want to give him still a church that could hold, that could bring, say, 3,000 people and have concerts in Pennsylvania and everything that do well, then you've got to go on to broadcast television, or at the very least, cable access. So in those markets that you want to go into, and it's much cheaper than broadcast. And you've got to build an audience so more people can discover him. But there's always a catch-22. If more people do, more people say, you know what. So what can I tell you? There's a lot of catch-22s, and I talk about 3 of them in the video. The first one, see, I can't even remember my own videos. I go into detail on that and why Bob Joyce may be forced to say he is Elvis, okay? So let's go to that video and see what the real count is. Well, piece by piece, and then a commercial right away. Let's go to analytics to see if it's higher than 2,200. Da 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 do 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 do. Okay, YouTube tells me views are up 39%, and we were thought you were fast on your way to become a loser, Jack. Views are up 39%. More subscribers are choosing to watch video, and they're watching longer than usual, helping to increase its reach on YouTube recommendations. Wings of Pegasus is still kicking your ass, though, and so is Matt Savina. Especially in subscribers. See, when you oversaturate, your views go down too. Don't do that, but in one ear and out the other, guaranteed. Views are 2,400, so that's good. 661 more than usual. I'm letting you have inside info here. Inside info. Watch time hours on that video that I did about 1 o'clock in the morning, Friday night into Saturday morning. 339 hours. 339.7 watch time hours, which is 269.7 more than usual. So thank you. Thank you for being a friend. Something, da da da, and back again. You're a pal and you're a confidant. You're a confidant. When I talk to you via microphone here, it's just between you and me. You know, everybody else got to go like that. And go la 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 la. I've lost my mind. The test was wrong. The brain scan was wrong. I'm full tilt bozo. I'm full tilt bozo. Did you know? Did you know that DJT? Why are you giving me initials here? We have that's someone that comes on here, right? And said he and Elvis are cousins, same bloodline. So who knows? Yeah, people say all kinds of things. I don't know. I'm not saying they're lying. I'm not saying it's a fibber. I don't know. Diane Thompson, welcome. Saying hello to Jackie Argan. Diane here from old Australia. Yeah, that's where all the crumbling buildings are, right? You don't know from one day to the next if the roof is going to cave in. I'm just kidding. Old Israel, which means it's probably vintage Israel, which means Israel. I just moved you to Israel. I hope you don't mind. Watch out for those air raids. When you hear them, definitely leave and go to the shelter. You'll have time. But don't just lollygag. It's like the great James Gregory said, about hurricanes. Well, the thing about tornadoes is that you never know when they're coming. You never know. You have very little warning, sometimes no warning. But hurricanes, they tell you. Now, look here. A week from today at about 4 o'clock, a potential, as we see it now, class 3 hurricane or class 4 hurricane is coming to your neighborhood. And they just sit there and wait for it. And then he goes on to say, I hope I live long enough so a wise person can tell me what the miracle of plywood is. There's a class, there's a category is the word I'm looking for. Class 1 hurricane coming to your neighborhood, and you put up the plywood. Can somebody tell me what the miracle of plywood is? You look out in the street. I'm doing this whole bit here. I'm sorry. And you see all the National Guard going up and down, making announcements. And why is that? Because they just couldn't find any damn plywood? Yeah, I can write it out. And as Ron White said, also a very funny man. I don't like it when he uses God's name in vain, though. Stop doing that. You've been too blessed, Ron White. You've been too blessed to throw that name around. But he talks about the guy who straps himself to this solid tree, and he has someone tie him all up real tight. And then that guy leaves. He's not stupid like the guy he just tied to the tree. And he says, "Now you have to understand, when there's 80-mile-an-hour winds, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. Turns out, turns out, if you get hit by a Volvo, it won't matter how many sit-ups you did at the gym that morning." Ron White, James Gregory, very funny people. The difference being James Gregory did not use God's name in vain, and Ron White does, and I wish he would stop that. "Jack, you are gorgeous." No, no, I've got a face only a mother can love. I'm the one that the mother threw out of the litter. I had to find some lovely couple that would feed me with a bottle because mom threw me across the yard. Oh dear. Oh dear. Love you to the moon and back. But did we really go to the moon? It's not made of Swiss cheese. No. And if it was, it wouldn't be the good Swiss cheese. You know what the good Swiss cheese is? Domestic. That's my favorite. I don't want this Alpine lace stuff. It's too bitter. It's bitter. So is the really sometimes I like it on a sandwich, but you don't want to just eat it or put it on a cracker. The real Italian provolone, it tastes like puke. I'm sorry. After telling that story earlier in the program too. I don't know, it's just too much for me, I don't enjoy it. Domestic Swiss on a Ritz, I mean, what did Andy Griffith say back in the day? "Everything's better that sits on a Ritz. Everything's better that sits on a Ritz." Then we find out, well, of all the crackers, Ritz may be the tastiest, but it's not the best for you. She has Ritz crackers down there. You know I'm gonna have to have a few. You know, she just bought them. Ay, ay, ay. Karen, help me. Help Andy. She lost the weight. Now let us do it. Hope you had a great Christmas. Thank you, J Cat. Thank you. It was quiet. I got a lovely pair. Oh, here they are right here. I can show them to you on camera. It says $80 and she got them for like 38. She said, what do you want for Christmas? And I just thought of something I haven't had in a long time, and it's winter time. I said, nice pair of corduroy pants. Nice pair of brown corduroy pants. So she got me tanned, but I'm not complaining at all. Oh, it shows my waist size. This is embarrassing. You didn't think I was 54 waist. No, not really. Oh, there we are. Hager. Hager. Whoops. Lovely corduroy pants. Very happy about that. They'll keep me nice and warm. Oh, I better show them again because some people got blocked by an ad. So when you come back from an ad, does it come back to you're not really watching live anymore? You're watching from a few seconds ago, or do you just miss what I did during that ad? I often wonder about that. I guess it is hot there, Helen. It's too hot for me. Every once in a while, I don't mind, but I'm at the other end of the scope here. It'll be warming up tomorrow, but it's going to be ice storm tonight. You miss it all. You miss the content until you watch the replay, if you do. And I'm not saying you want to watch it twice, but then you won't. They stop when they do an ad. It comes right back to, they pause. It paused in the middle of a Bob Joyce song, the first Bob Joyce song. They don't usually do that, but whatever. I have no control over that either. So if you miss my Hager corduroy pants that Karen got me for Christmas with the actual waist size, of course, I have to tighten the belt a lot because I'm not really this size, especially anymore. Aren't they nice? Hager corduroy pants that normally went for $80 and she got them for under 40. Isn't that nice? I was very happy with that. I gave her cash. I gave her a beautiful black soft leather pocketbook and beautiful black sweater. I think, in case she's ever going to my funeral or something. I don't know. Um, oh, and she got me something very cool too. And I can show that to you right now as well. My new mouse pad, ladies and gentlemen. My new mouse pad debuts. Here it is. Barnabas Collins himself, Mr. Jonathan Frid, the late, great Jonathan Frid, everybody. Barnabas Collins, my new mouse pad. I like it's a big mouse pad too. I like that a lot. There you go. Thank you, Karen, very, very much. What else did I get? I got a couple other things. You'll look super in them. Well, that's the thing. I really, I don't have my brown sweatshirt. It's got a hole in it, and it's a hoodie. I don't like that. Hard to find brown sweatshirts. And this time of year, I want to be wearing sweatshirts because it's cold. Bill, baby, it's cold outside. They tried to say that was a rape song, the woke generation. Give me a break. He's not saying you can't leave. I will stop you from leaving. He's just, pointing out some of the reasons that she might want to stay. These XYZers and millennials, not all of them. Thank God we have many lovely XYZers and many lovely and handsome millennials. We do. I want to point that out. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you for stopping by very, very much. So yeah, I think I covered about everything I got to cover this time around. And again, thank you to Tammy with an I, who I don't think is here, for a very generous Christmas gift on Cash App. Thank you. Also, Pat Gazera, I believe it's pronounced that way. It's not. I think it's Gazera. And we'll mention more people at the end of the year show. We will. And also, thank you, Hockey 92, and of course, Sammy, who I don't think is here right now, and Susan Carter. See, I start naming names, and there's a ton I'm going to leave out, and I don't want to do that. So we'll wait to the end of the year show. Good to see you, Angel. And here's Sandra Warren. Are you John Willard on Cash App? Yes. Yes. That's my surname, That's my surname. Me mom would never have called me Jack. So I have two groups of friends. Well, I really don't have too many friends left. Some I lost by being a Trumper, but some are, tolerant of it. I have people that knew me before 1977. They call me John. And then I have people that knew me when I started my radio career in 1977. I didn't want to be John. I know that Jack is a common nickname for John. President John, excuse me, President John Kennedy was also called Jack by a lot of people, and that knew him. And so I went on the air using my middle name in Fredonia, New York, Jack Allen. I like that, but by the time I got to work at what I call my hometown station here in the Hudson Valley, even though I was born in the Bronx, we moved here when I was 3, and I've lived in other places. I always have to say that so people don't think he's never lived anywhere but there. No, I have. But I knew people would know me here from school and stuff, so I didn't want to use Allen, so I started using my real last name, which is Willard, son of John Willard, John Lyman Willard. God rest his soul. He died when I was 11 in 1967. So we had a little time, but not much because he was a weekend father in a sense, because he was a New York City plumber, union plumber, and we were living up here. He bought a house in the Hudson Valley for us, and he would come up on Friday night and leave on Sunday and go back to my half sister's house and stay with her. So he was closer to the job, instead of the long commute that many people do make every day from the Hudson Valley. I wouldn't have ever wanted that. My father's name was John, always called Jack. Yeah, there you go. That's it's a common nickname. But if you get emails from me, you'll see my surname in there. So it's no secret. It is no secret what God can do, what he's done for others, he'll do for you. But there's God's timing. God heals when he wants to. Going to heaven to be with him is not a bad thing. So, there's many things we don't understand. There are things in this world we do not understand, but we want answers. You know what show I'm talking about, Neo. I bet you do. Yeah. Um, so where are you from, Sandra? If you want to tell us, where do you hang your bonnet at Easter time? uh 54. This is weird because the count is the same. Something is happening when we're live that the count stays frozen now. Do you see a count? How many do you see in your count if you're watching me right now? Can somebody tell me? Katina says, Did you ever make it? Did you ever make the Ritz cookies? No. No, I didn't. Let's see. You spread peanut butter between two crackers and dip them in white chocolate. They are amazing. You're trying to keep me fat, aren't you, Katina? You would like me pleasantly plump, do you? It's all well and good till one day after some more Brother Bruno's pizza, I hit the pavement. I find myself kissing the pavement. Well, I don't believe there is such a thing as white chocolate, and I don't believe there's such a thing as red licorice. I just don't. White candy. That's very good. I enjoy it sometimes, but I don't see how it's chocolate. I just don't see that. I don't see how a red Twizzler is licorice. I just don't. I just don't. Now we got peppermint candies calling themselves licorice. No, no. Bogus. Bogus. Hi, Teresa Williams. You're 61 years old? Or is that your handle? I'm confused because that sounds like something you typed. 61. Today? Are you 61 today? Neo's 104. You say, Neo, that some people with the name Christopher were called Kit. Some named Elizabeth are called Betty. Well, that one I've heard. The Kit part I have not heard. But I'm not saying it's not true. I just haven't heard it. Yeah, Chris would be the number one way to shorten it. They wouldn't say Chrissy because then you'd be Suzanne Summers in Three's Company. So welcome, Teresa Williams. Oh, the count went up. So now, okay. Funny how it stayed there at 54, was it? 59 now and 49 likes. 49 likes. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. They're all for you because to me, they taste just like chilled hiss. That's what beer tastes like to me. All of it. I've never understood it, although I did get intoxicated once in my life, and it was at a beer blast. I just turned off my taste buds. This goes back to the 70s. And the guy downstairs, he's not there right now, I don't think. Guy downstairs and I went to Dino's downtown, and it was a beer blast, and I must have had 8. I must have had 8. I only made it outside the club when it was the first, you know what, and then got back to my mother and I were living on North Beacon Street at the time, and the worst place we ever lived in. Didn't live there for long. I puked all over my bed. And I said after that, I will never do that again. And I have never done that again. Now, if I had said I will never have another slice of pizza again, and after having maybe 5 slices or something, that would have been a lie. But I was easily able to never drink beer again, and except for a little buzz here and there with a margarita or something, I've never been intoxicated. Close at El Bandito, and Karen drove home because they put too much in my margarita. They think they're doing you a favor. I don't want that much tequila in there. I'd rather taste the strawberry and stuff. But they put too much in. And I said, Karen, either we're taking a taxi home, because she had a sip or two. I don't know. I said, how do you feel? Because we're going to have to take a taxi home. I'm not going to drive like this. I can feel that. And the Bible speaks about drunkenness being a sin, and I was about there. So accidentally, I swear to you, some of these bartenders think, oh, he's a nice guy. No shot. No, thank you. I don't need that. Tequila is the easiest song to do at karaoke. Yeah. And where did we just see that? You're not just saying that. You saw the same thing I did. Yes. Britain's Got Talent, right? You saw that strange looking guy, geeky guy, and he comes out, his hair is slicked back and what have you, and he has this strange look on his face. And they start playing the song Tequila, and he just holds the mic and he glares into the abyss, and they're all looking at him. And at the appropriate time, he looks straight into the mic and says, Tequila. And everybody laughs. I don't think he was going to win anything, but they had to admit that was pretty cute. Proverbs 31:6-7 says it's okay to drink. All right. There is a scripture you can find that says wine makes the spirit merry, like Merry Christmas. But definitely getting drunk is a sin. Now, where did I put my reading specs? The Walmart glasses are back downstairs with a book I'm reading. Also, Karen gave me for Christmas Dr. Mark, what's his name? From Fox. His book about miracles. She gave me that book. See him all the time. The TV doctor on Fox News is Mark who? Yeah, Proverbs 6-7. In other words, chapter 6, verse 7. I hope that's what you're saying. Because I don't think Proverbs, the whole chapter of 6 and 7, say, go and get yourself a nice drink. I knew this would happen to me, Neo. No, that's not it. So what chapter and what verse? Be specific. Cindy. It is Cheney. I didn't want to say it unless I was sure. Hi, Cindy Cheney. Did Jesus not turn water into wine? Yeah, I've had pastors preach against alcohol, and the very famous pastor from Times Square Church who wrote books and preached all over the world until he was killed in a car accident in Dallas, Texas. David Wilkerson, he had books about sipping saints. And I had a pastor who was saying that, wasn't good to drink alcohol. It's certainly not good to drink alcohol in front of an alcoholic. So, Jack, it's me, Margaret. Yes, I know Margaret. Hi, Margaret. Welcome. True to only one. I have a question. Please fire it off. You can drink all you want, you just can't get drunk? No, I'm not saying that because if I drank all I wanted sometimes, I'd be drunk. I'm just saying that there's a difference between a little bit to relax you. Wine would be your, you can make the case for wine because Jesus did turn the water into wine. And the pastors that say no alcohol at all. So I guess at the feast, the wedding feast of Canaan, it must have been that Jesus, they were serving money-saving brand grape juice. It tastes almost like Kool-Aid, not that good. But Jesus came along when they ran out of that because everybody would have wanted something that tastes like Kool-Aid, right? Jesus turned it into Welch's. Jesus turned it into Welch's grape juice, or that great Jewish grape juice. What's it called? With a K? Cats? The cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Organic wine is best. Oh, I don't doubt that. Love songs and welcome back to you. People are coming back, coming back. It's nice to have you back. I want you back to enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. But those are not my favorite Jackson 5 songs. What is my favorite Jackson 5 song? Never can say goodbye. No, no, no. Never can say goodbye. So I'm backstage at the Merv. I'm not backstage. I never got backstage at the Merv Griffin show. I was in the audience many times. I'm back in the alleyway behind the Merv Griffin stage where the stars are going to come out after they're done. And I find myself talking to Isaac Hayes, the theme from Shaft, because you know that Shaft is a bad mother. Hush your mouth. Hush your mouth. This is a family show. So I'm talking to Isaac Hayes. Nice. He's signing my autograph book and everything. And he had a new song out, something with joy in the title, right? And it was climbing the charts. And I said to him something I had heard Barry White say on TV. Oh, Isaac, yeah, he's good, but it seems like he's kind of like a one-hit wonder. And I related that story to Isaac Hayes, and he looked at me and said, really? I thought Barry was my friend. Then I was sorry I said it. Oh, dear. Yes, yes, Jack, you can drink, but do not get drunk. That's what the spirits, I think this is going to be, that's when the spirits enter your body, wrong thinking and self-loathing, etc. I have been buzzed and I felt wonderful. I only was drunk one time, and that was crazy. Didn't ever want to do that again. Made me sick. You can't make the Bible say something that it doesn't say. Um, Jesus drank wine with alcoholic content. But yeah, a lot of people can't handle it and should stay away. And if you're in the presence of an alcoholic, don't you be drinking. Don't drink in front of kids either. Don't drink in front of kids. They're going to probably sneak it. If it's in the house, it's almost like you got to lock that up like you lock your guns up. You do. Lock up your liquor cabinet. Lock up your liquor cabinet. Okay, Proverbs 31:6. Is that what he's saying? I've got the NIV. Okay, I'll go to the NIV instead of the New King James Version. Proverbs 31:6. Always good to go to the Word of God. We do it during Worldwide Ramblings. If I fell in love with you. Well, there's a lot of Psalms. Haven't read from the book of Ecclesiastes yet. He was so new of a Christian, he was preaching from the book of Job. The very last book, right? In Proverbs. Like Fred Sanford changing glasses here. I can't believe it. You're actually right. I know that's not going to be in the King James Version, though, right? That word? Huh. Give beer to those who are perishing, wine to those who are in anguish. I haven't seen this scripture. You hit me with something. How could I have missed it? Because there's another scripture. Boy, I wish I would have quoted that to my pastor. Give beer to those who are perishing, wine to those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty. And remember their misery no more. That's phenomenal. Thank you, J-Cat. I never knew that was there. See? I learned from you. I can't believe that. So now I got to see what the King James Version says. Oh, dear. This is the New King James Version. Not as many these and thous. Those these and thous can be a little cumbersome. I'm going to tell you, they can be. All right, we got right to Proverbs 30. I'm telling you, that big weekend show that lasts 3 hours on Fox, that's too much. They were just chattering back and forth. They never had a freaking reporter in the field yesterday. I mean, I like Tommy Lahren, but she's a little too much for 3 hours, you know? Soften up a little bit. Okay. In the New King James Version, Proverbs 31 verse 6, give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty and remember his misery no more. I'm fascinated by that. Fascinated. Don't give me beer. To me, it's chit, like chit chat. I don't like it at all. I mean, oh, geez, these Mexican frozen drinks, they're rather tasty. And I just say just a little splash of alcohol. I'm more interested in the sweetness of the drink, David Lohman is here. Hi. Every Elvis, that starts out weird. Reaction, scene, bull crime. I'm having an idea you're probably not a friend. Bull crime. Maybe you're the real guy who's been emailing me. Social media, lies, crime, people, you pay, why no fan, sure. Well, first of all, David, come on. Now work on the English language here because I'm having a hard time with this. There's no criminal intent here. We're just telling what, even if we're wrong in our assumptions, is the greatest entertainment story ever told. And there's a documentary. I usually say the full right way documentary. That's how I like to say it, coming out. And we'll see what that does. As I say, when I got up to like 7 or 8 facts, oddities, coincidences, a mix of such, when I had enough smoke to fill up the state of California, I usually say Texas. When I had enough smoke to fill up the state of California, I said, there's got to be something to this story. There's got to be a bloodline and what have you. But there's a lot of things that point to the fact that he may be Elvis. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. It's still a great story. It's still, to me, the second greatest story ever told. We know what I just read from the greatest story ever told. So, no need to get all angry about it, It sells Elvis records. It does. It helps. The perception helps. It certainly helped household the faith immeasurably. And I won't say any more about that right now. Christine Wilburn. So peace and love to everybody. Absolutely. Have you heard from Ted? No, I've emailed him several times and I have not heard from him. Can you hook me up with his email again? I don't know that I did it the first time. You email me. I probably have your email, but you email me, okay, at jackthefairguy@gmail.com. I'm not going to get to it right this minute because I bet you Karen's about to cook something and hopefully I'll be able to eat it. I sure couldn't have eaten it last night, I'll tell you. Sick as a dog for a little while. Jeremiah. Now we're giving me other verses. 12:12, huh? Jeremiah 12:12 says Margaret. Under true. You say 12:12? See how fast I forget. I think that's what you said, 12:12, right? No, it can't be 12:12, I don't think. See, I understand what you're saying, and agree with that, Margaret. You probably have an experience with somebody in your family or something like that, but you can't make. We just read from the Word of God, and that cancels out being trying to in any way infer that you cannot drink alcohol according to the Bible. The Feast of Canaan cancels that. And here's another interesting thing about that feast. It was a wedding, a long wedding. They were drunk, some of them, They were drunk, some of them. See, I've never had a problem with that addiction, but I know there are people that are due and they should stay away from it like you would stay away from, a plague, And you can say for many it has become a plague. I get that. Where are we here? Jeremiah what? Yeah, I'm just someone that every once in a while with like a Mexican dinner or something, likes to have a margarita or with my steak at Texas Roadhouse. We do that a couple of times a year. It's too expensive for us, really. I will have a frozen daiquiri or something like that. And that's it. That's it. And we're there long enough that the food, brings me down from any buzz I might feel. And if not, I ask Karen to drive. And as I swear, if both of us had what maybe too much of a buzz, and I'm talking about stuff that never happens, but if it did, I would say we got to leave car right here and take a taxi home. Take a taxi home. We'll pick it up tomorrow or later tonight. We'll come with her car and we'll pick it up. Don't wait overnight. They might tow you away. Okay, but still, just to make it easy for me, if you could send me a shout out in the email. So did I lose that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Jeremiah 12:12. I'll certainly read it if you want me to. I didn't see the connection the first glance. Jeremiah 12:12. Over all the barren heights in the desert, destroyers will swarm, for the sword of the Lord will devour from one end to the other. No one will be safe. So you wanted to read that, me to read that. And I think it's more about what's going to happen in the last days. But believe me, um, it's never been one of my addictions, thank God. And if you have an addictive personality, don't drink. Don't drink. Um, glass of wine, but not every night. Not every night. Don't be drinking daily. They say one drink a day. Red wine is actually good for your hat, good for your heart, and what have you. But I would drink less than that. What are we talking about? Chattanooga. Hijack from Chattanooga? That's where you are, Angela? So have you, oh, you probably get sick of this. Have you rode the Chattanooga choo-choo? Some friends of ours were in Chattanooga not too long ago. And we have 54. There's that number again, 54 watching and 56 likes. Please subscribe. Please, if you haven't already, do it right now. Hit the subscribe button. Subscriptions are up, and I'd like to see it stay that way. Hit the like button if you like anything at all. Hit the notification bell, as many of you probably already have done, and hit the thanks button if you can for a few dollars. That would be very helpful as well. So there you go. There you go. So I may have a pre-recorded video to do later this evening when I come back here. And if not, please watch our 2 new videos if you haven't seen them. Please watch them. They're okay. There's this one right here. Why Bob Joyce may be forced to say he's Elvis in 2026. But if we're wrong in our conclusions, he won't be. He isn't. I speak of possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. And we got over 2,400 views on that right now. So please join them and watch that. It's getting a good viewership, and they're watching most of the video, it seems, if not all. Not as popular, but 1,300 views, and let's see what it really has. Machine learning is advancing. Yeah, machine learning is advancing. AI is overtaking. That's what I would say. But that's just me. Now, not edit video. I don't want to edit it. I'm not changing this title now. Let's see. Analytics. Okay, well, first it says for the video, will Elvis return from the grave in 2026? It says, looking good. This video has gotten 1,411 views, which is similar to the 860 to 1,700 that your videos usually get. But remember, I've got videos with a lot more than that. 270 watch time hours, and it has earned us another 6 new subscribers. So that's good. That's good. Very, very good. And look at that. I thought she had gone off to dinner or something, but no. I see you there. I see you there. See your TED email. I will work on that later, but he doesn't answer. Lane Peterson sent $10 on the Cash App, and Sandra Warren sent $10 on the Crash App. The Crash App. I don't want the app to crash. The Cash App for great media. Well, thank you guys. And we earlier thanked Tammy with an I for a generous gift on Cash App, as well as a few days back, a week back, Pat Gazera hit the Cash App, which is lowercase letters, Media Guy 56. Media Guy 56. MEDIAGUY 56. And yes, if you see the name John Willard, that's me. That's me. Just like you see it in the email. It's not my broadcast professional name, though. You know what that is and has been since 1977. So anyone that knows me after 77 tends to call me Jack. Karen knew me in 1965 in second grade, and she always calls me John. So there you go. So thank you, Elaine and Sandra and those others that I mentioned. Thank you, Hockey 92, on the thanks button during this pop on to pop off for 1999 on the thanks button. Thank you very, very much. So we'll probably be on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, or both. I'm just not sure yet. I'm just not sure with a live show, and it'll be a pop on. So have your notification bell on. All right. Special thing for the holidays here. And I guess New Year's is a legitimate holiday, whereas Christmas is a holy day. Yeah, we thank the Lord, though, for bringing us into. Yes, don't pull all your hair out. All right, I will give it to you now. Okay? Okay? Which means as soon as I say a big God bless you, thanks for watching, everybody, for this pop on to pop off. Please watch the whole thing. We talk about some important stuff in the beginning. Please watch those new videos. Look here at the end. True to you only. Hitting the thanks button. I get the two confused. Thank you so much. That's a blessing. Big and small, it all builds on the pot that we're working on for the third week in January, which is going to figure into what I got to do in February, which is I got to pay tax potentially on the Cash App and everything I make from Google, whether it be through the thanks button or per 1,000 views. I don't know. I hope President Trump is telling the truth that there'll be special discounts this year in the tax. I'm going to need them. Oi, oi. So, with that, we'll say a big God bless you. And good night, Jack, says J-Cat. Good night to everybody here. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of blessings. When the enemy rushes in, the blessings of God usually follow. Amen. Bye-bye for now.